So now I'll just go back over this diagram again, and I'm going to use a computer analogy so that it'll be readily understood by many young people today. Well, of course we have the mind's eye, we all have a mind's eye, and I'm going to call that the monitor, the display unit of our perceptions, okay? We have the memory, of course, which goes without saying in computers, we all know about that, but you do have limited access to it for a lot of practical reasons. And these personality aspects of this this computer analogy here are your personal likes and dislikes. All these things here, you might call them attribute files. You've all come across those in your computers. Now, we've got here the void, and I will liken this to, if you've all used Windows, you'll remember there are things called hidden files, which is a note of wisdom from the manufacturers saying you don't really need to know this. And if you do, at the bottom of your growth curve you can get yourself in some hot water. So it's best you leave it alone till you grow into a part of your growth curve where you really know what you're doing about this. So that level of sort of paternalistic wisdom from the manufacturer is born of experience. Okay, to get the most out of your operating system that you are dealt, the hand you are dealt, do what the manufacturer says for beginners. Okay? Now, a similar sort of deception for your own good has been played out with great affection for hundreds of thousands of years, whereas you might call this a virtual image, a virtual one-way mirror program, which effectively is like a firewall. It basically seals off this person and makes them think that everything is fine in there and there's nothing else in there except you. But behind this sort of mirror firewall there is another intelligence. You might call it the head programmer, the head honcho, call him what you like. It's been a necessary part of your development to bring you all up to speed. It's been going on for many, many thousands of years. But now, what's in here wants to come out into your internal awareness, and he's going to use those greetings, and I love you so. I just called to say I love you. That sort of stuff, okay? So now I'll just sort of finalise a final word on this diagrammatic layout of your internal architecture. I've tried to make it as simple as possible, and what I'll say is that this is the architecture of 6.5 billion people, and the aim is to get the Creator out into the internal awareness of all 6.5 billion people. You are designed to have two intelligences actively living in your internal awareness. The one called you that you're so familiar with, and the Creator with you. He hitches it right across all your perceptions and enjoys all the life joys you have with you. But now you're going to know He's there. He's a wonderfully charming companion who will shower affection on you. If we can get this to happen in 6.5 million internal awarenesses, I think we can truthfully and fairly say, using an old piece of language, I will say this, you might call this heaven on earth.